I was driving to work about 20 to 9.
We got to the classroom, the kids were settling in, it was around 8:45.
So I was just standing by the counter, reading the papers.
We were preparing to have a coffee break.
We heard this loud boom.
We heard somebody screaming.
The first phone call we received was that
one of the women came in and said to me,
we heard over the police radio
the plane hit the Trade Center.
I looked out the window and saw the smoke coming from the Pentagon.
Everybody just stopped and watched the news.
And when I looked out from where we were, you could see the building with this gaping hole in its face.
So, I mean, that's a block away, literally right around the corner.
I knew that something really awful had happened.
You could see both towers burning at that time. Just thousands of people running, walking, just traffic going the other way. And the only traffic going towards the towers were the firefighters, the EMTs, the medics, the cops. You know, all union people just going straight into danger.
People are running up, hundreds of thousands, maybe, just pouring up the block. I'm thinking, God, what do we have here?
And I see one of my fellow workers come around the corner, holding his arm, and he was bleeding from the back of his head. I said, well, what happened? What happened?
Walking,
There was
trying to find my way to the towers and wondering what could cause damage to these vehicles that had just parked here. The towers at this point are still standing.
When I got to the Pentagon, I never thought I'd see the building in that kind of condition. And that's really when I think things really started hitting us about what we were going to have to do and how much work it was going to take.
Fire trucks are pulling in and guys are just leaving and running down.
One of the EMS chiefs, he grabs my partner and I, Billy, and says, come on, we're going in.
I saw a fireman who had a woman on his arm, and I thought, well, if I go and take that woman from him, he can go back and do whatever for someone else.
We found out that we needed to evacuate the building, so my student teacher and I took the children that we had and held their hands, and we walked out the building. We started walking up the West Side Highway.
We took about 7 or 8 steps together, and here I am saying everything is going to be okay, and here's this fireman standing right in front of me yelling, "Run, the building is coming down." You could hear it. It was the most unbelievable sound, a very deep bass howl.
Everything started turning black. People were flying past me. I had to dive on the floor under some payphones.
So I'm yelling to, and this girl that's in front of me, get down, get down.
I just stood there screaming like, oh my God, what's going on, what's going on?
People were just running.
The floor is shaking, it's roaring, dust is flying.
The debris and everything is falling. I'm trying to get people to stay to the right.
About 10 minutes passed, and then you hear complete dead silence.
We had to make a decision at that point of whether we were going to put people in to try and do search and rescue, or if we were going to worry about getting the fire out first.
We feel we're going to be able to save people. There's got to be voids. We got to get to work on this.
I knew there'd be a time to grieve, to cry, but right now, there were people that needed help.
All the rescue workers that we had seen that day were basically just fix whatever it needs to be fixed, get the debris out of my eye, give me a breathing treatment, and let me get back there. I have to go back. You don't understand what it's like down there. I have to find them. There's a lot of people still missing.
We know we have our brothers buried in there. We got people buried in there.
We worked until the next morning, till about 7 o'clock the next day.
I stood there to help until I couldn't help no more.
There were thousands of union members involved in the rescue and the recovery operation. And people came from all over the country, really, to volunteer. You had to be impressed with that kind of spirit.
Immediately, people started talking about, well, what can we do? Then we decided to do a Red Cross donation.
Everybody wanted to get in the effort, get behind helping in some respect.
You know, you can give blood and donations, but I wanted to do more. Really, I wanted to go to New York and do something.
We had 400 people getting ready to be laid off, you know, and they, didn't know when they were going to be working again, but it didn't stop them. They still donated their money. They still donated their time. We collected almost $6,000 in just the 2 hours.
September 11th, our tourism, of course, stopped. just like everything. We had between 15 and 20,000 people laid off, and that's why the union devised the Helping Hand program. They brought in unemployment, they brought in the Red Cross, social services, the utility companies that were able to make extensions on payments on power bill. We had the water company. The Helping Hand in Las Vegas was open to anybody who had been affected by September 11th.
My supervisor came to me, and he had this very serious look on his face. And he said, I need you to do something for me. Would you be willing to drive to New York? The Red Cross has contacted us, and there's some communication equipment here in town that they need immediately. And I told him I'd be more than willing to do it. While sitting on the Brooklyn Bridge, because I had never been to New York before, I saw the Statue of Liberty. And as I was turning my head to the right, I could see smoke. And one of the first things I did was just drop my head and pray.
It's been a year, Daddy. I really, really miss you. Mommy says you're safe now in a beautiful place called heaven.
Oh, thinking about our younger years.
We had your favorite dinner tonight.
That was only you and me.
And I ate it all up.
Young and wild and free.
Even though I don't like carrots.
Now nothing can take you away from me.
I learned how to swim this summer.
We've been down that road before.
And I could even open my
That's
eyes
over now.
when I'm underwater.
Keep me coming back for more.
Can you see me? I miss you, Daddy.
Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven.
It's been 5 years, Daddy.
Love is all that I need.
I'm in 5th grade
And I
now.
found it there in your heart.
I really like computers,
It isn't too hard to see.
but math is hard.
Heaven.
Mommy lets me sleep in one of your t-shirts.
Oh, once in your life you find someone
I think it still smells like you.
who will turn your world around.
I don't need to sleep with the light on
You
anymore.
up when you're feeling down.
I'm trying not to cry, Daddy, but it still hurts.
Now nothing can change what you mean to me.
I really miss you, Daddy.
There's a lot that I could say. Just hold me now.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
'Cause our love
Can you
will
see me?
light the way.
It's been 10 years, Daddy.
Baby, you're all that I want.
I started high school.
You're lying here in my arms.
I made the honor roll.
Finding it hard to believe.
I hope you're proud of me.
Heaven.
I'm also on the soccer team.
Love is all that I need.
Can you see me on
And
the
I
field?
found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see.
I started thinking about
We're in
colleges.
heaven.
Do you think I could be a doctor?
Now our dreams are coming true. Through the good times and the bad.
I know you'll be with me when I walk down the aisle.
Standing there by you.
I try not to be sad,
Baby, you're all that I want.
but it hurts.
See you lying here in my arms. Finding it hard to believe we're in heaven.
I hope you know you're my hero.
Love is all that I need. And I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven.
I love you so much. Can you see me? Can you see me?
I miss you, Daddy.
I really miss you, Daddy. I miss you, Daddy.